a solid background in Division I, specifically, so that and a sense of competition at the very highest level, including the highest level that we hope to achieve here in the coming years ahead, and as well as an enthusiasm and engaging personality that will allow this individual to connect with the community that is so important to the continued success of Fresno State athletics. As I mentioned on several occasions, we were fortunate to have an outstanding pool. Adrian did a wonderful job with this program. Some of the women that are here today did an amazing job getting us to the point where this was a very attractive opportunity for many coaches. And so we had many with various backgrounds and many to select from, because Fresno State women's basketball was not considered to be a very, very good job. However, Raegan Pebley brought us the whole package. She was an outstanding player in her own right at the University of Colorado, including over 1,000 points and 700 rebounds during an extraordinary prolific time in women's basketball at Colorado. She went on to play in the WNBA, so she clearly has a personal sense of what it is to compete personally at the highest level, which is a terrific attribute. And following some 10 years as a successful 10 years as an assistant coach, she moved on to Utah State to resurrect their program after a 16-year hiatus, basically from scratch, to start over and to build it with all the difficulties that you can ask Gene Fleck here with our swimming and diving program, how difficult that is to start a program from scratch. And over a period of time, she took a program from non-existence to one of the most respected and top programs in the Western Athletic Conference and to postseason play, while her student athletes excelled academically. Her efforts have been recognized specifically over the past couple of years, as she was named the 2011 WAC Coach of the Year. In 2012, she was the WBCA Region 7 Coach of the Year, which advanced her and made her a candidate for the National Coach of the Year. So she has also had an interesting attribute for us, is that she shared recruiting areas. One of the areas that she recruited so prolifically was the state of California, and she also has close recruiting ties in Australia. Both of those places have been pretty good to women's basketball over the past few years, and we wanted to continue those. I would say, personally, I think Raegan is one of the most aware coaches I've ever encountered. And when I say aware, that is during the interview process, she repeatedly referred to her clear thought process, objectives, and methodology of how she improved her basketball team and how she improved as a coach. And she thought about it a lot. In short, she thinks deeply about coaching, and then she thinks deeply about how she thinks about coaching. Think about that. And all toward the mission of improving her basketball team and her student athletes continuously. So it is with her character, experience, success, and approach to her profession, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Fresno State's 9th head women's basketball coach, Raegan Pebley.
Well, with that, I think you did a pretty good job, so I'll open up for questions. Is that how it's supposed to go? No. Here you go. You got to work on his hands. He's got great hands. His dad's a football coach, though, so he's better catching a different shape of a ball. But I'm very excited to be here, and I thank you for all the support in this room right now. Really, the amount of people in here and the attention this is drawing, I think definitely shows not only where Fresno State women's basketball has been, but where we're headed. I want to start real quick recognizing some of the alums that are in the room, and definitely our key ingredient are student athletes. Thanks, ladies, for being here. And I see in the back of the room as well, we've got definite support back there. I also want to start by thanking some important people. Okay, obviously, I would not be here without the support of our president, without Thomas, without Betsy, Jan, the whole search committee. To have their support and to really feel good about the relationship and the foot that we got off to was a key step for me in making this big transition. I also felt when I started to talk to Thomas and also President Welty when I spoke with him, they impressed me so much with their concern and care for student athletes. And obviously they care about their student athletes here at Fresno State, but it meant a lot to me that they cared about the young ladies that I just left at Utah State. They put them first. They wanted to make sure this transition was as smooth for the Bulldogs as it was for the Aggies, and I really appreciate you for that. And again, that message, I heard it, and it was a crucial piece in me shaking that hand and saying this is a done deal. I also, and that's a great segue for me to thank Utah State. When I got the job at Utah State, I was as young as you can imagine. I was green, I was naive, and I was probably inexperienced, but I was passionate and I was excited for that opportunity, and I believed in what Utah State could do. And I want to thank, former President Hall, President Stan Albrecht, the ADs that I've worked for, including Scott Barnes, for their support and letting me grow, letting me develop as a coach, providing me mentorship, and that feedback that as a young coach you need. And I also want to thank the young ladies at Utah State that I coached, because they went through growing pains with a young coach as well. And then these past few years, the young ladies that are there right now, I adore them. They're a part of my soul. They're special, and I will miss them greatly, and I wish them the best of luck. But they're competitors, and I'm competitors, so I wish them the best of luck until we see them on the court. With that, I also want to introduce and thank my family, my husband Keith, who Keith is all too familiar with coaching college athletics. We met, he was a college football coach, and he is very, very supportive, the most supportive husband I could imagine. And I was blessed beyond belief when I stood on top of the mountain and said I do. Because you don't know until you're in that seat of being a head coach and being a mom, and being a wife, what it's going to take to make you good. And this man right here makes me good. He also understands that this profession is not a profession for me, it's a way of life. And he participates in that way of life. My kids, Joe and Harper, hi guys, you look good in red. We've got coaches in this room, and being kids of coaches is not easy. They've got, sisters at home in Utah that they're getting ready to say bye to, that wear that blue and white, and they're also excited to welcome these girls here at Fresno State. And, Joe, you're going to do great here, buddy. I'm so proud of you and the young man that you are. And Harper, you're a doll, girl. She's 5 going on 50, and we're going to keep working on those ball handling skills and maybe turn her into a bulldog before we know it. My dad, who's not here right now, my dad was my first coach. He is definitely the man that I've role modeled my coaching philosophy behind. My dad always found a way to coach. Whether he got paid for it or he volunteered for it, he always found a way to coach. He came home, he'd eat dinner with the family, he'd throw us in the car with him, we'd go and participate in whatever sport season it was. He was an excellent coach, but what he taught me has really molded the type of coach that I am. And it's not about a paycheck, it's not always about the wins and losses, it's about relationships. And we're going to carry that into Fresno State women's basketball. We will build and continue the success that this program's had. We will continue to have it, and the foundation of it will be on relationships. It will be about transforming lives. It will be about you guys continuing to make me a better person, but more importantly, You have my commitment and my investment, and our staff, when we get that going, we will invest everything we have to help you all achieve your goals and become the amazing women you're already on your way to becoming. I definitely know that there's expectations here. That was part of why I took the job. There's expectations always in my life. I want to be the best wife that I can be, the best mom that I can be, and the best coach that I can be. And I don't care if you're walking into a program where there's a vacancy because a coach wasn't getting it done, or a coach was getting it done, like Adrian Wiggins was. There's always going to be those expectations, and they're high. And I wanted to be the coach of a program, whether it was continuing on at Utah State, or this great opportunity like Fresno State where the expectations are championships. And this is a great opportunity as we head into the Mountain West Conference, which I feel I have a really good sense of what we need to win those championships, that we're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to do it with everything that I just mentioned before. Focusing on the student-athletes' academics. We'll continue to graduate these young women. They're doing a great job as it is right now. And that's a great thing that I get to just receive the baton and hand it off. We will do it in ways that they have already proven to be successful. I think something that was exciting for me in looking at this team is that I knew who Kiki was on the court, and I knew who Rosie was, and Sheedy was, and all these young women, I knew who they were. I remember watching Gina in high school and watching her develop. There's a lot of these young women, I feel like I know where their left hand's at and their right hand's at, what their strength is and their weaknesses are. And I'm excited about continuing to build upon that. But I also know that this team's had a lot of success doing some of the things that I love to do, and that's playing up-tempo basketball. We're going to get aggressive defensively. It's not in my personality to be passive, to sit in a half court, and to slow this game down. We're playing up-tempo, and we're going to go and expose these strengths that these ladies have. It's something in the Mountain West that I think you can have a lot of success with, and that you've seen the San Diego States and the UNLVs rise to the top of that league. That's the style of play they play. And we got to be ready, ladies. We got to be ready because it's good basketball in that league. And I know that you guys are fired up and ready to go too. We're going to keep shooting the three. I know that's something that Fresno's done a great job of. I love the three. You get more points for it, so why not? And when you got great shooters, not only did Fresno State in the past shoot a lot of threes, but they were smart in shooting. Their efficiency at the three-point line dictated that they needed to shoot that number of threes. They weren't a team that their efficiency numbers were low. They were doing a great job with that. We're going to bruise up our knees. We're going to skin up our elbows. We're going to get aggressive. We're going to look to have our defense fuel our offense. We're going to let our chemistry show who we are on the floor. Behind all of those statistics and the way you play the game, you'll also know and be promised there'll be a team that cares about each other, that cares about the Valley, that cares about this university, that cares about the role of being a role model in young people's lives. And you're also going to know these are young women that are going to graduate and give back to this community. So with that, I appreciate the trust that's been given to me. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Adrian did an excellent job of getting this ready. My dad's often said that a farmer has the hardest job. They can do all the work. They can get the crops ready. They can lay those seeds. There's probably much more technical terminology I should be using that this valley knows all too well. But you need it to rain. You need it to rain for it to grow. And I'm going to make sure it rains here. Adrian did a great job, and I'm going to make him proud. I'm going to make these young ladies proud and our alumni proud. And we're going to go get some championships, ladies. Okay? Thank you very much.